Hello everyone, this is Cameron Campbell and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Passageways. Thank you for joining us in the 2017 Bestie webinar series. Today we will take a look at smartALEC and their Ideas at Work innovation. This presentation was a finalist in the Best Innovation category this past May during our annual conference, Powwow. So before I introduce our guest speaker, I would like to address a few housekeeping items. We encourage you to ask questions. If you have a question or a comment, you're welcome to click the question mark icon and type in your question during the presentation. The presentation will also be recorded and available for you to review or share with your team later. So today, our presenter from ALEC Credit Union is Jen Pastikis. Jen joined Abbott Laboratories Employee Credit Union in 2012 and has played a key role in the senior management team. Jen has been instrumental in the development of not only ALEC's brand strategy, new website, social media presence, and new products and services, but also ALEC's internal culture with the creation of the organization's intranet. After being inspired by the book Lean In, Jen developed an innovative leadership program available to all employees. Jen currently leads the human resources, training, marketing, business development, and investment services departments. Starting her career at CUNA Mutual Group, Jennifer has over 15 years of experience in the financial services industry. Jen transitioned from CUNA Mutual Group in 2005 and worked in various marketing and investment roles for several Chicagoland credit unions. Jen has brought her passion for investment services to ALEC and grown the production of the investment department by 27% over the last 3 years. Jennifer holds a Bachelor of Arts in French and Spanish from Indiana University, a Master's of Business Administration from Lake Forest Graduate School of Management, and Series 7, 63, and 65 licenses. As a lifelong learner, Jen is currently pursuing a corporate coaching designation with IPEC. After completing this program, she plans to launch a second-generation leadership program for ALEC and has her sights on a management communication and coaching program. No matter what Jennifer is leading or developing, she brings her passion to what she does each and every day. So now at this time, without further ado, I will turn over presentership to Jen to share her bestie. Okay, Jen, take it away.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and thanks for everyone for being here live. We'll go ahead and dive into the Ideas at Work idea. I want to first give credit. We actually took this idea. No idea is a brand new one. This idea and this program originated at Motorola Employees Credit Union, now Indigo. We just actually took this platform and figured out a way to run it through our portal. So I want to give credit to that credit union as well, and then just share how we have morphed that idea to our Ideas at Work program here at our credit union at ALEC. So with that, I'm from the Chicago area, so I shared this back in May. This is a picture of our beloved deep dish pizza. This is Gino's Deep, I believe, or Giordano's. And so we love the quote here, and it's on our Ideas at Work page. Ideas are like pizza dough made to be tossed around, by Anna Quinlan. So had to represent our Chicago roots here. If you have not been to Chicago and you're on the line, I highly encourage you. It's a really cool city. And definitely stop and get some awesome pizza. You'll probably only be able to have one piece because it's truly a pie and not like your regular pizza. So just for fun, wanted to share that. So wanted to talk about what the program is. So Ideas at Work, the base definition of the program, is that it's simply a program that is going to encourage your employees or leadership team, anybody in the employee base, to bring ideas forward on the following categories. We have reducing costs, driving revenue, improving processes, and we added within the last year or so, improving our culture, just because we were getting ideas that didn't fit any one of the three top buckets. And we thought that using smartALEC would be a more innovative way to do it than your typical suggestion box or an all-employee meeting. Many times employees are a little bit, scared or intimidated to come forward with ideas. And we felt that who better than the employees, the ones that are dealing with our members day in and day out, they really are the ones that know how to improve these categories. And our management team highly endorses, as you'll see, this program. We also highlight the program at every quarterly meeting. We kind of redefine, because we have new employees that kind of come in. We tell them what the program is. It is featured on our intranet, and we give it 10 minutes as part of every agenda. So I would say one thing as a takeaway is that the program is as successful as the management team supporting it, and as much communication, as you give it, just because it can be out of sight, out of mind. So, how the program works, and I'm going to share this with you live as soon as Cameron gives me kind of the go sign to do so. So how it works is that employees submit their ideas at work idea via a help desk that we created in our portal. And our portal is called smartALEC. And then what happens is we have a cross-functional team. Again, this is supported by our larger senior management team. So every senior manager will either nominate or ask for volunteers. We rotate that ideas at work team at least annually. And again, it is cross-functional and represented from multiple departments. So that internal ideas at work team will meet in person. They meet quarterly, and they review all of the new and pending ideas on a quarterly basis. The ideas are determined, so that internal team has some authority, excuse me. They determine what ideas can be immediately implemented, and I will share some of those results in a few slides. They also will have on the team, which is I find interesting, a senior manager is also on the team to also show further support and to help provide a little guidance. We did not always have a senior manager on the team, and it's worked fine both ways. But at this time, we have elected to have a senior manager on the team. And right now it's our Senior Vice President of Lending. He is the person that champions bringing the ideas that are pending or that the senior team would like to see. Those ideas are brought by our senior management representative, and he brings it to our monthly senior management team meeting. So he'll bring a summary of the pending ideas for consideration. And those ideas that are at the senior team level may be more a larger idea. It might be a more strategic idea. And that what we do in that team is we talk pretty thoroughly on each idea, and we will determine, is this idea, can we implement it? Do we need further research on this idea? Or is it just not suitable for implementation at this time? So we discuss the ideas, like I say here. We determine which ones will be sent back to the Ideas at Work internal team for implementation. If we require additional research, we will ask the Ideas at Work team and or the original submitter to do more research on that idea. And then just to amend that idea the next month or quarter to let us know the status of that idea. So we do track pending ideas as well. And that is done by an internal Ideas at Work team member. If it is declined, the employee does know via the team it's declined, why it's declined, or if it's immediately implemented, why it's immediately implemented. And then if it needs more research, of course, that employee knows, and they know what they need to do to get it back to the senior team for additional consideration. So we've already talked about this. The ideas are going to be marked as approved for implementation, additional research, or we'll look at it even in the future, which I did not mention. So sometimes the employee that submits the idea doesn't know that we may need to push this down the road because we have another strategic priority, but we still, as the senior management team, think it's really important. And so we'll tell the Ideas at Work committee to pend this idea for maybe a year from now. And then it reappears on the report, and then we look at it again to see if it's now suitable for implementation. We've talked about that the Ideas at Work team researches all pending ideas with the original submitter, We talked also about that there are members from all departments and a member of senior management. And I think this is a key point, is that all employees with implemented ideas will receive recognition at our quarterly all-employee meeting. So we take the 10 minutes to define the program again. We actually have everyone that submits an idea stand. We will highlight an implemented idea. We'll read an idea. If there's cost savings, we may mention cost savings because it also just adds additional impact. And then we give them, obviously, a gift card. We see here a $25 gift card. And we give them kind of a round of applause and really get behind it. So we have all of their names listed on the Ideas at Work presentation. And we've also mentioned those that might have a pending idea or something that will be looked at in the future. So as you can see from like the start to the end, we feel that one of the reasons it's successful is just because we have management buy-in and we're communicating really well together throughout the process. So here is a copy of a screenshot of our homepage at the time I did the presentation. And at the time, we're actually highlighting something different now, but I still will show you the page. On the homepage, we had Ideas at Work. Right now, it's our recognition module, but for the time that we had it, it was Ideas at Work. And you can see that it is a mainstay, or has been for many years, a mainstay on this page. So the employees know and continue to know, even during our small transition here, highlighting a different program, they know where to submit ideas. So I think the key point here is it's a core part of our homepage. Employees always are reminded on where to submit it. We don't have a banner right now, but we have had a banner in the past reminding them how to submit or why it's important to submit. We also have told them in this rotating banner on our homepage how many ideas have been submitted or where we are year to date in comparison to prior year. And so it's just really integral to our homepage. So I think another key point would be, once your program, if you decide to do something similar, is built, make sure you work with your administrator of your portal to make sure that it's prominently located when you implement it and it doesn't get buried, because I know there's just so much to everyone's portals and their portal pages that I think if it's front and center, I think it'll also help remind employees to submit their great ideas. So we use the idea of the help desk. We called it a form, but we aren't actively using the forms module right now. So I'd love to say that we are, but we kind of are a little bit behind on that. So we actually leverage the help desk function to create our Ideas at Work form. So it's really simple to create, to build, and to manage. And so we have that here. And so every time that someone opens up help desk, again, they can see, oh, I submitted Ideas at Work right here. So here is a screenshot of our Ideas at Work form. You can see the subject of what the idea is. Sometimes they'll need to send us a picture or they'll need to send ancillary information. So they'll attach something. What is the idea? The name of the employee? What's the benefit to the organization? And then this drop-down box will go back, I'll just show you again, ties back in again to one of these 4 areas. So we've got reduce costs, drive revenue, improve processes, or improve ALEC culture. So that will map right over, and they say, oh, this is an ALEC culture item. So we know what quote-unquote bucket for Ideas at Work that it falls into. And if the Ideas at Work committee says, well, the employee, put it in maybe the wrong area, it's okay. I mean, they'll just say, oh, it's really more of a culture item. It's more of a reduction of cost item. It's just for the employee to kind of give us an idea of what type of idea we're looking at. They submit that idea, and then that idea goes to our Ideas at Work team. We have a main person that has been dedicated to getting kind of the majority of these tickets. And then that person records all the tickets and, again, brings those ideas to the meeting of the internal Ideas at Work team. So it's collected by one team member, and every member of the team kind of has their own internal or their own job or assignment. So one of the folks in there is assigned or tasked with collecting all the ideas that come in via the help desk. So here are a few examples of our implemented ideas. And some of them are smaller, some of them are larger. I just took a smattering of ideas here. The first one is small. It's really, really small, but it just makes life easier. So why would we order blank check registers from somewhere else when we can order them from facilities? So order blank check registers from facilities rather than individual orders. We have an internal facilities manager that helps with supply orders. And then we also have an external ordering company, but he does a lot of our order facilitation. So this was just added to the order form. So this was a smaller one. Here's a larger one. Let's stop waiving interest accrued for rescission periods on real estate loans. This was done by, I believe, our real estate lending manager or underwriting manager. Here's another one that made our employees' lives easier and, of course, our HR team's life easier. We used to do our acknowledgments in paper, and now we have a BBS learning management system. So we built electronic acknowledgments for all of our annual HR forms in our learning management system. That was just one of our employees that said, hey, can we do this a little bit easier? So now we have all of our electronic acknowledgments at the beginning of every year. And another lending idea, loan add-ons using a GL rather than printing checks. And some of these, like I said, they're not going to be coming from the senior level or even the management level often because, they might just say, well, I don't do this every day, but, the person that's working with the member or is, interacting with other departments may find some really good or beneficial ideas that we may not even think of because we're not dealing with a day-to-day task or project. So we really respect that, and we want to hear from our employees, and that's truly part of our culture. The last couple, implementing departmental email addresses to send and receive loan docs from title companies, rather than doing maybe individual email addresses and it gets caught in a personal email box. It just makes it a lot more seamless. And then the last one, which has also been implemented, themed gift cards. We used to have more of a stock gift card, and now we have more themed gift cards, and we also have themed debit cards. So these are just, a very small smattering of examples that we get, and we entertain all of them. Again, some of them may just not be suitable or just not, appropriate to pass all the way through, but we listen to everything. So those are some of the implemented ideas. And here's some of the results. And we took a little bit of a dip, and I'll explain, again, on the communication side why. So in 2015, I'm giving you just the top line. We had 91 ideas submitted. I believe we started this program in 15. I could be wrong, but it was 15, I believe, when we started. So we had 91. And we have 100 employees. They're just under at this time. So that basically, is equivalent of one idea, per employee, give or take. So, I understand that it's not 10 ideas per employee, but one good idea or one potentially great idea per employee will definitely take if it helps improve our efficiency or drives additional revenue or just honestly creates a better member experience, we'll take it. In 2016, you see we had a dip. That is because, we didn't do as good of a job, I think, on the communication side of our results. I don't think that, we did a fabulous job in just hyping up the program and communicating it on smartALEC. So that's an example of, I think, our learning. That if you really want the program to be successful, it just has to be integrated into the fabric of all of your other communications. You may also want to incorporate your communications team or your marketing team if that is important in your organization, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, pizzazz if you want to kind of market internally and kind of sell it to your staff internally. So you see that we are kind of on an upswing on year-to-date. We're at 74 ideas submitted. I just got an email from the committee because I asked. We have another 30, and this was as of the end of last quarter. So year-to-date was at the end of last quarter. For this quarter, we have another 37 ideas that are coming through. So we will be well over 100 ideas by end of year. So just taking the percentages of what we had as of last quarter, 74 ideas submitted year-to-date as of the end of Q3. 16 were immediately implemented, and 16 are pending for our meeting with senior management that we still have to review. So just looking at our immediate implementation, we're at 21.6% for immediate implementation rate. I have also asked, and I've not gotten it, so if anyone has any questions and want to contact me in the future, I'm happy to continue our conversation. I've asked the team to see if they can give me some dollars saved or some revenue generated from some of these ideas. And I haven't gotten it yet, honestly, but I really hope that I can, so you can kind of see the power, the financial power of this as well. So I apologize, I don't have that at the ready today. But the bottom line is, we feel strongly that this program improves our efficiency, and it also, in my mind, builds a sense of employee morale and ownership. Our CEO has a line that he uses, and all of our employees that have been here for even a short period of time, he always tells our employees to treat it as if it's their own hot dog stand. And so that really just drives that sense of ownership for the employees to say, hey, how can I make our organization better? Not only internally for ourselves, but also, of course, and more importantly, for our members. So that's an example of our results. And now I'm going to stop and just ask if there are any questions, and if Cameron would like me to show it live, I'm happy to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Jen. We do have a few questions that have came in, and I'll tell you what, if you want to go ahead and pull up your live portal,
Sure.
Once you get that up, I'll go ahead and ask you this question, and then from there, everyone, you are more than welcome to ask questions. Type that in, and we will respond to you as quick as possible.
Sure. Okay, so I'm hoping, Cameron, can everyone see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yep, we are good there. So the first question that we had come in, Jen, was what is the regular job function of the person that is mainly responsible for collecting the ideas at work?
Oh, no, that's great. That's a great question. So that person is our trainer currently. And, you know, interestingly enough, just to expand on that, the person that is leading our Ideas at Work committee, we have had a service center manager do it. We have also, right now, we have our business development account specialist do it. So I'm mentioning that because Phil, our business development person, he's on the road at least 50% of the year, and he has found a way to lead it and just is super passionate about the program. So we have changed up who has been responsible for the help desk tickets. We have changed up who has been responsible for leading the program. I would just say that whoever you elect to have in these positions should be passionate about it, should be detail-oriented, and good communicators would be the three qualities I would definitely say you want in these folks.
Awesome, Jen. Thank you very much for that. I'll tell you what, if you want to go ahead and kind of start taking us through a tour, as questions come in, I'll kind of pop in here and there and ask you those questions so we can get them answered.
Sure. So I'm going to start here, and then I'll backtrack to the home page just so you guys can see it more updated. So this is our Ideas at Work page. It's under our employee resources. Some of you might be on a higher version. We're on 5.0, so we're a little bit behind on our update. So if you don't have a nav tree on the left or if it looks really different, just bear with me. So everyone in our organization has access to our ALEC work group and the Ideas at Work page. So you see that I took this little quote from my presentation from the page, and Phil put this here. And so he basically created this page, and it says, welcome to Ideas at Work. And he's saying here, this is your platform where your creativity is encouraged and fostered, and this is where your voice is heard. So you can hear throughout my presentation, as well as physically on the page, that we're really serious about it here at the credit union, and I think our employees really enjoy it. So it talks about how it works, which we again have reviewed, and I mean, he's also incorporated some fun here. Sit back and bask in the glory of your creative genius. So I mean, he has fun with this. It's not, you know, it's all serious. And our organization is a little bit more on the conservative side, so I like the fact that he's incorporated a little levity and some fun here. And so it says here, be a part of ALEC's future, submit your ideas today. So this is our homepage of our page, very simple, tagged island. And then the thing I really like about it is that you can see the committee members. So Phil is our leader, he's our lead facilitator. Ken Keeper is our Senior Vice President of Lending. He is our Senior Management Representative. Amy Livingston is our trainer, and she is the person responsible for the help desk tickets. Beth Swanson is in our operations department. She is a person that also helps with obviously reviewing the ideas. Heather Mass is in our consumer lending department. Neil Nethercoat is in our IS department, and Patty Alanese is in our call center. So you can see it's in all functions. So Patty Alanese represents the voice of the member. I would also say that Heather Mass represents the voice of the member because they're dealing with members on a daily basis, or their folks are dealing with members. Neil is out right there because he's talking, about the IT side. So if it gets technical, he can just on the ready say, can we technically do this? Or what are the restrictions, or what would we have to overcome from an issues perspective to take this good idea to fruition? Beth Swanson also is member contact and just really understands our core systems because she's our operations and finance manager. Amy Livingston trains on all of our service model. So in terms of member experience and member experience championing, she is definitely our person, and she's super passionate about it. We've talked about Ken's role, and then Phil, I will say, he's just a really good communicator and is super passionate about it. So he is our mouthpiece of the program on our quarterly employee meetings, along with often Neil will get up and talk about what's happening in the program. So the submission form has been linked here. Like I said, it's not buried here alone. It's also off of our homepage, which I'll share with you. And then we need the list. I wish we had some in here. So I listed some of the notable ideas. I'll ask Phil to update this. But we have in the past put some notable ideas. I think you should update this content, and I'll make sure we have it updated in the future because it just encourages people and stirs their creativity like we've shared here. So what kind of ideas have been submitted? So I would include a notable ideas section. So again, that's under employee resources, and I'll take you to the homepage. So the homepage is slightly different, and I'll just mention at the time of my presentation, we didn't have this program, or we didn't have it launched yet. This is our employee recognition section at this time, just because it's a static section when we launch this. But I'm sure later this year or early next year, we'll flip-flop these back to ideas of work, and then part of the year we'll be nominating our Katja program, which is our recognition program. But like I said, this was here, the Ideas at Work was here for like 2 years before we moved it. So I can't stress enough, have like a landmark location so people know where to find it before you make any types of amendments or changes. We also had it at one point under our ideas or our employee resources here in our islands. And our page is a custom page, so that's why it might look different than yours. And we're looking to make some enhancements to our homepage once we get to 6.1 upgrade. So the last place that I'll just share with it quickly is the help desk. So it's, like I said, it's right here on our Ideas at Work form. Sometimes I pull it up a little bit because I'm an administrator. I'll pull this up a little bit higher so people can get to it a little bit more ready than having to scroll. But all employees know that it is under the help desk. Another idea, if you do have icons in the top, is you may want to include, submit an idea. We don't have that here, but that's another way that you could make it really visible on your portal. So those are the places that we have it and how Ideas at Work works. So Cameron, I'll turn it back to you to see if there are any other questions.
Awesome, thank you for that, Jen. Yes, in fact, and you covered this a little bit, but one question that we had was the Ideas at Work team that you showed there, and it was a cross-functional team. How did you decide and how did you choose on who was going to be on that Ideas at Work team?
Yep, so what we do is we change the team up annually at minimum. And what we do is we talk as a senior management and leadership team, and we give people opportunity. We say, who would love to do it? Who, can we give an opportunity to? Because it's visibility, cross-functional visibility across the organization. and who might have some bandwidth availability, because, you know, we have to be honest that this takes time. It takes time to review the ideas. It takes dedication to participate. It takes time to, you know, put our quarterly presentation together. It takes time to get the gift cards, to, you know, look at the help desk. So the senior team definitely has we weigh in rather on who might be good fits for the committee or the Ideas at Work team. And then sometimes we'll also ask, we'll talk to like our mid-level management, we'll say, hey, who would really enjoy this opportunity and is going to take it seriously? So we started our upper management, and then we talked to mid-management, and that's how we determine it. But it's our CEO who really smartly, I think, decided that we needed to make sure it was cross-functional and well-represented across the organization.
And that transitions very well into the next question here. Have any employees actually been promoted because of an innovative idea that they had?
You know, I'd have to think about that. I don't have one off of the top of my head. I do have one that I believe has been submitted. I think I'd love to say this person will eventually be promoted, but I don't want to guarantee that. We had someone in our IT department recently that wanted to make an improvement to our phone system because we have an overflow call center. And he made some adjustments to settings and hold times through our new phone, our soft phone via the computer, our system that we're still working through. And again, I don't know if this has been submitted yet for an idea, but according to our risk and IT vice president, this is going to save our organization well over $50,000 in overflow costs per year. So if that person is not promoted, I know that there will be definitely recognition and lots of kudos given. So that's one of the ones that comes to mind. It's probably the largest cost savings that I can tangibly give you. But I don't know of a person that's been promoted at this time because of Ideas at Work submission. I will say, however, because I do represent HR, I think it's something that should be taken into consideration in regards to, does the person actively participate in the organization's culture in looking at employees for positions. But it hasn't at this time, I don't think, resulted in a promotion or advancement.
Awesome, and thank you. That's great to be able to see some real life examples there that you just shared with us, and how really this has had a huge impact on your organization as a whole. And kind of piggybacking off of that, when you rolled out Ideas at Work to your staff, what was the feedback that you got around Ideas at Work? Was there buy-in immediately? You know, did it take some time to get things up and going, or was this something that staff really got on board and really liked? And I'll let you take it away from there.
No, I think it's a really good question. So we had a unique situation. So I started here, like you said, Cameron, in 2012. And I actually will take back, I don't think we implemented this in 15. I think we implemented it in 13 or 14. I'm sorry, the years are escaping me. But I will say two things. Number one, we did it either right with portal implementation, because this organization was unique in that before our smartALEC portal, we had never had an intranet before. So it's a blessing, and it's also a curse, right? Because everyone's used to a large, completely messy or potentially messy shared drive. So it took a lot of buy-in just to get the portal launched. So what we did was, shortly after we started getting buy-in to our portal, or as part of an enhancement, we launched Ideas at Work as kind of a package as part of the portal within a year after the portal went live. The credit union had a light program for submission of ideas, but it was very paper heavy. So what was beautiful about it is that after our portal went live, because I've worked at other credit unions, I talked to our CEO and said, could we please integrate this into our smartALEC portal? Because I think this will be just another enhancement and something really cool that our employees can rally around. And after we did that, it kind of just started taking off, quite honestly. So I think it was the launch of the portal, our smartALEC portal, getting them behind that, and then taking an existing smaller version program and doing full integration and really hyping it up and getting management commitment that drove it. But it definitely took some time once we started. It took us saying, okay, guys, to keep those ideas coming. Sometimes our group will send updates throughout in between our employee meetings to say, hey, this is how many ideas we have, keep them coming, because, you have to market this program like you would market any other types of programs to employees because everyone's really busy. So hopefully that answers the question.
No, that was great. Thank you, Jen. We had another question come in that is, do you consider larger incentives for ideas that save significant amounts or generate significant amounts? I know you touched on that a little bit earlier, but is that kind of something that you're thinking of moving towards?
I think it's a really good idea for the person that threw that out, and I really like it. I may share that with the Ideas at Work committee and with Ken, our senior management representative. We have not, but I do think it's a good enhancement. I think the reason we haven't is because we have some pretty rich Employee of the Quarter, Employee of the Year programs. So I have to be careful, and now we've also implemented an employee recognition module. So I have to be careful that I don't take away from the spotlight on the other programs. But I do think for the one, like the example I just gave you, I think that is a great example of one where can we, make it a little bit richer? Can we make it a little bit larger to show examples? So I would say depending on what your recognition program, I'm talking globally at the organization, looks like, I think it definitely should be considered.
Thank you for that. Now I'm going to transition, and if anybody has been on webinars in the past for the Bestie webinar series, I always have one question that I really like to ask. Jen, what is your favorite part about smartALEC, besides obviously Ideas at Work and the brilliant name? I just want to throw that out there for anybody else that's probably thinking the same thing. That was a brilliant name. So if you would like to show us kind of your favorite portion of the portal, we would love to see that.
So that's a big thank you to our CEO and our former marketing director for that brilliant name. They used to have an internal marketing newsletter. And I have to be honest, they came forward with that name and I loved it. So kudos to them. So to answer your question, I'll show you our most recent edition, and I really love it. It's our Katja program. And this is also a rebuild or kind of a reinvigoration of an existing program we had. We had a program called On the Spot. So I think that some credit unions do flying fish or something small where we want to recognize people on the spot more immediately rather than a more formalized quarterly or employee of the month program. So what we did was we said Katja in the act of doing something awesome, so it's called Katja. And we created a whole page around that that I'm just taking you to, what it is, what does each nominee win, what the monthly drawing, we do a completely randomized drawing. We also track points for our nominees. So every time they get a nomination, they get 1,000 points every month. And we have gone from awarding, so our old spot award program was, you would nominate to HR would vet the nomination, but no one would see that instant gratification nomination. So it took some time, but the senior team kind of bought into the idea of can we take this program more virally through the employer recognition module. And it took a lot of time and a lot of discussion, honestly. We were worried about, what kind of nominations are going to come through. Are people going to take it seriously? Are they going to, not participate? But you'd be amazed. We get tons of these every day. I would say we probably get, I'm guessing here, but ballparking between 25 and 30 Katjas a month. And we do a live drawing at the end of every marketing campaign update, our monthly campaign update. And we themed it by having hashtags. So I'll show you guys really quickly. It's a lot of fun. So we have adaptability, moving with the speed of change, being adaptable to changes in the workplace to be successful, collaborate, hashtag time for action, hashtag never look back. We have the idea of innovation, hashtag do the right thing, walk the walk. And then we had one for our CEO. So we thought we have to do something from a CEO perspective. So we have passion, hashtag hot dog stand. That's integral to our culture. We have one on, this one is taking care of the employee. So hashtag team player. And then lastly, we have a heart for taking care of the member. And we have hashtag we heart our members, and then take the initiative. So that is the newest kind of addition to our portal. We launched that in June or July, and it's gone really well. We even have people that'll like it, just like they like Facebook posts and comment, and people I think have really rallied around the program. So that's the one I'm most excited about most recently.
That's awesome, Jen. I love that, and I know that a lot of organizations can really take a lot from that. So, hey, thank you for your time today, Jen. This was great. I can hear the round of applause right now for you. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. This concludes our 2017 Bestie webinar series. Just to let you know, we will be sending out this recording for you to share with your teams or anyone who may have missed today's webinar. But before we leave, I don't want us to forget, get Powwow 2018 into your budget for next year. This is a great chance to see these Bestie presentations live, and speaking from personal experience, it's just a great atmosphere and a great environment to be able to collaborate with other organizations in the Passageways family. So a little bit of detail on Powwow this year. It will be hosted in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Alexander Hotel, and the date is October 9th through the 12th. Just so everyone knows, registration is now open, so you can contact your CSM for some more information on that, and also some early enrollment promotions for signing up now. So after all that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you again, Jennifer, for your time, and everyone have a great rest of the day.